What's up, everybody? So, welcome to another Tip Thursday. Smoking Spirits here. Today's cigar of choice is the, I don't even know which company makes this. It's Guardian of the Farm, and it is their Apollo model, I guess, based on the label. I don't know. It was a 6x44. It was very, relatively long and pretty thin. Good cigar though. Anyways, today's Tip Thursday, we are going to talk about trigger objects. The temptation is always there to bring trigger objects into, and I personally highly recommend using trigger objects to try to, spur on activity in an investigation. But one of the things that I see people do all the time, and to me, the strategy in that just isn't quite there, So let's say little ghost Timmy likes to play with, toy balls. So you bring a toy ball, you and your team gather around, you put a ball in the middle of the room, and you invite Timmy to play with the ball, and nothing happens. Well, why does nothing happen? You brought a trigger object for a child spirit, and then 5 adults stand around in close proximity and wait for this kid to move this doll or this ball. Well, what do you know about kids in real life? If 5 adults are standing around and you ask a kid to play with a toy, they're not going to. They're gonna be apprehensive, maybe nervous. Kids typically aren't terribly confident, especially around a group of adults staring at them. So if you're going to set up a trigger object, and I absolutely highly suggest that you do when appropriate for the investigation, limit the the time that you spend around it. Don't sit there with 5 people watching this object, waiting for it to move. Mark it somehow. Set a camera on it, and then get out of there. If you have a child spirit, they absolutely may want to play with that toy, but they want to play with it where they're confident to do so, which is when nobody's watching them. So, and that goes along with, I feel like all trigger objects. We get so excited sometimes when we use them, but then we stand around and stare and wait for something to happen like it's going to happen. And I mean, even ghosts, adult ghosts, they don't do a lot on command. So get a camera on them and then get out and go do something else. My suggestion, digital recorder as well, because the audio was going to be better than on a camera. But just set it and leave it. Come back. Shot of whiskey in an Old West place, a beer in a bar that's famous for ghosts interacting with drinks, toys for kid spirits, whatever. You want to set up witch-related stuff in a place that's known for witchcraft, or you want to set up some satanic type stuff in a place that's known for satanic rituals. Do all of that stuff. That's great. I think it's fun. I think that trigger objects do a great job in bringing activity out, but just don't be there hanging over it, watching it, waiting for it to happen. Now, if you want to record for 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, and then pull off and check it out to see if something happened, awesome. But don't sit there and wait, because you're just going to waste a lot of time investigating. You're probably going to be disappointed. One of the tools that I want to really try out moving forward are these wireless night vision cameras or low light cameras that you see. They're super cheap. A buddy of mine has one that he uses for home security. He told me he paid $25 on Amazon. I still have to look it up, but wow, like, these tools were not available when I first started investigating. My first DVR set, I thought I got a pretty good deal on them, and they were, I want to say, $65 a camera. The wires that I bought two 50-foot cables and two 100-foot cables. And man, I think the cables, I want to say, were more expensive than the cameras were. Plus you've got a DVR box and all of that kind of stuff. So you spent probably $500 getting this whole setup, and you were limited to the wires, and you tripped over them and had to get tripods to set the cameras up and all of this stuff. And now for $25, you can get a wireless night vision camera that records to the cloud, and no cables, no wires, no batteries, no limits. You can put them anywhere. So pick up a couple of those to go along with your trigger objects, set them, and then walk away. My suggestion, if the objects tend to get moved around, is mark them somehow, tape, markers. If you're in a place that doesn't matter whether you make marks on the floor or the tables, which is probably not going to be the case, but bring a little bit of tape, just mark it. Hey, these are the edges. Oh, look, now it's moved outside of those edges. And then you can go back and review the tapes. Like, that's great. That's great investigating. But standing around watching, waiting for that to happen, not great investigating. So I understand the excitement is there, the anticipation is there. You really want this to happen, but by watching it, you limit the chances that that's actually going to happen. So, what do you guys think about this black and white? I really like black and white. I do a lot of photography. I love to convert it to black and white. Sometimes I shoot in black and white. I love it. So tell me what you think about the black and white. Tell me what you guys use with trigger objects in your own investigations. I don't use them as much as I want. I always think about trigger objects. I actually really want to try, like, using myself as a trigger object by dressing in a period appropriate costume or something. But anyways, let me know in the comments what you do with your group for trigger objects. Let me know what kind of evidence that you've caught, if you've got something really cool using trigger objects. This is the short videos. We're going to keep this under 10 minutes. So I'm going to sign off on that. So like the video, subscribe, hit that bell, keep watching. I really appreciate you guys checking out my videos. Hopefully these are helping you out. And comment. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what you do, because I'm always up for trying new things. So thanks so much for tuning in. Till the next video on Tuesday, smoke if you got 'em. I'll talk to you soon.